What is up, disc golfers? Today on Iceberg TV, I want to talk to you about the Discmania PD2. Today we have the PD2 in 4 different plastics. We have this really domey S-Line PD2, a swirly S-Line PD2, Simon Lizotte C-Line PD2, and then a super broken PLine PD2. This is from the Ice Dad bag. This is straight out of the Ice Dad's bag. This is a very special disc. We attempted to dye it. All it did was wipe the stamp off. Crazy disc. I'm going to show you why at the end of the video. So the PD2 is a 12404 distance driver that all the top Discmania pros with the really high arm speeds, like Simon and Eagle, for example, are throwing these discs backhand and forehand as usually their main distance driver. And the reason being, it's a very overstable disc, and for the most part it does fly true to the flight numbers. But if you like those players and you want to be able to throw a PD2 like them, all you need to do is know which one to get. So these S-Line PD2s that are really domey, and I'm going to let you listen to that sound right there. Very pop top, very domey. If you get a pop top PD2 like this that can make that sound with it, this is more like a destroyer. So I would change the flight numbers on this to like 12.5 - 1.2. This does not fly like a 12404, and this flies just like a destroyer that can very easily be turned over and thrown for max distance lines. So we're gonna give it a throw, we're gonna check it out, and then I'm gonna go over these runs of PD2. So as we could see, it got a bit of turn and then a nice strong fade at the end. But according to the flight numbers, it shouldn't really turn at all. You would think it'd be 12404, would be super overstable and unthrowable. Now, the next one I want to talk about is the world record distance Simon Lizotte PD2, the C-Line one. These are really overstable, brand new. But another thing about PD2s, if you just get a used one, then it's gonna fly like a really, really solid distance driver. The thing about beat-in discs that used to be overstable is that once they're fully beat in, the stability doesn't really change from there on out too much. So if you get a stable disc that's beat into a straight disc, it's gonna have a really nice dependable flight, but then that nice broken in feel. So we're gonna throw this thing out nice and flat again. It should fly fairly similar to the S-Line, because this thing is really beat in. I got it used and then beat it up a little bit more. So we're gonna give it a nice flat throw, just like the other one. So as we can see, it got a good bit of glide on it, and it didn't just fall right out of the sky. It wasn't a 4 glide. That's definitely a nice 5 glide driver. Now this one is probably the one that flies most like the flight numbers. This is a swirly S-Line PD2. These ones typically are the most overstable, and once I give it a throw, you can immediately tell how overstable this one is. This one's a bottom stamp Eagle McMahon 2018. The swirly S-Line PD2s are by far the most overstable of the PD2s. So we're gonna throw it out hard and flat again, and this one's gonna dump significantly harder than the other ones. So swirly S-Line PD2, check out the flight. We got the guard dog over here. You gotta film the dog. Okay. So the last PD2 we have here, super beat-in PLine PD2. Now for the slower arm speeds and the beginners that want to throw PD2, this is the PD2 for you. This thing flies like a 12.6 - 3.1. Like, this thing is very understable, and someone would see you pull this out and be like, oh, that's a PD2, that's gonna be overstable. But this thing is like somewhere between like a Sidewinder and a Wraith. Very fast, very glidey, not stable at all. PLine PD2, bit domey. We're gonna give it a nice throw, hard and flat, and we're gonna show you the difference here. So this could be the everyday man's PD2 that's not like the others. Look at that turn with a gentle fade at the end. So what we can do in that case scenario, you can get the PD2 that you think would fly best for you based on this video, or you could buy a couple of different PD2s in different plastic types knowing that they all have different flights. So if you wanted a good balance, you could get a C line for the super overstable or a Swirly S line, and then an S line for like headwind straight shots, and then a P line for the very understable shot. So you can carry the same driver in multiple different plastics and get the desired flight based on the circumstances in which you're throwing in. I thought it'd be a good video just to talk about how different plastic types can affect the flight of the disc, but then I also really like the Discmania PD2, so I wanted to do just another touch on that disc. I've done a review in the past, but I wanted to touch on that disc again because I think Simon and Eagle are some of the best players in the world, and they're throwing that disc, and just because they throw that disc doesn't mean you can't throw that disc. But that's all I want to say about the PD2. Thank you for watching. If you want to become a patron, click the link in the description below. This is Iceberg TV, and take care.